Hi, welcome to the Miller Life Kitchen. Thank you for joining me in the kitchen today, and I'm going to be doing pretty pork. It's a hot pack pork loin, and I'm going to be putting it in jars, hot packed with adobo better than bouillon. There are a couple different flavors that are newer or new-ish that you might want to check out. There's sofrito, there's an Italian one, quite a few new ones. And I am going to do my pork though in this because I'm going to be, after I open it, it's almost a little spin on Cuban pork, but we like that over rice. So I am doing a hot pack, and pork is on sale with the holidays. I got a really big one, very good priced. So I'm canning it up today, and we're gonna have lots of meals on the pantry shelf. So thank you for watching, and let's get started. Okay, I've cut up half of my roast. It was an 11-pounder, about 1.5 inch cubes, and I'm going to be roasting this in the oven at 425, and I'm thinking probably 30-ish minutes, and I'm going to be like letting it roast a little and then flipping it probably at the 15 mark and just kind of keep peeking, but I'll let you know how long it took for it to roast up. And we'll be back when we're ready to put it in jars. So while this is roasting, I'm gonna get my canning area ready and we will get started. All right, I have everything ready, and I have my broth, I have my pork. Now, it is a pork loin. So I like to do, the reason I'm doing a hot pack recipe is it's more lean than a pork butt. So it doesn't make its own broth as well as a pork butt does because it's more lean. So I like that I can add the liquid to it, and also it's almost like I'm making a spicy pork recipe without making a spicy pork recipe. Hot pack is a method that is approved, and you can use any broth you want though. It does not have to be what I'm doing. It can be any broth you like. So we are going to pack the jars now, and I'm gonna bring you down so you can watch a little bit closer. All right, I have my canning station ready. That's how I like to do it. I like to have everything organized. So I have my pork here, my broth here, and everything I need to pack my jars. Now, I did want to mention that this has in it, it has chili peppers and it has garlic and cumin. So it is kind of like a spicy pork recipe. It's really good. The sofrito one is really good also. So what I did is I did a chicken-based broth and I added the adobo in it. It's delightful. It's really delicious. So because it's hot pack recipe, I have my jars still warm and tempered over here. Ran them through the dishwasher and I just got them out. So I'm gonna be doing a 1.5 pints, and I have 4 of those, and I have some quarts ready. I did not cut up the whole entire loin, which is 11 pounds. I did what I could fit here, so I do have more in the oven. As we are jarring this up, let me bring this up a little bit higher. I think you can see better. Yeah, that looks better to me. So we are gonna start by putting the pork in our jar. You ever notice that you never have enough room when you're doing this stuff? Put the pork in. I did not season the pork at all because there is so much going on in there. We're gonna fill this up, and I don't do it real tight because this is not raw pack. We're gonna do 1 jar at a time. So I'm gonna just kind of do your origami Tetris jar packing that you do with meat sometimes. I have to take the that funnel off just for a second. I think one more piece and we're good. What's also nice about hot packing any kind of meats is it doesn't stick to the jar as badly. And also it's already reduced in size because you've cooked it. So you get a better idea of how much meat you actually need to put in there so there's not a whole bunch of siphoning. All right, now I'm gonna put this back on. I'm gonna give my broth a little stir. I made a good amount of broth because, gosh, don't you hate it when you're canning and you're like, got this whole broth thing going on and you run out? It's the worst thing ever. It's annoying. Especially when you have it to the flavor profile you enjoy. We're gonna be doing this up to 1 inch headspace. All right, debubble. Sometimes you add more liquid after that, and sometimes you don't. Looks like we're good. It was a little over, but I knew when I did my debubbling that would change everything. So I'm going to try not to stain my towel. I have back here, I don't know if you could see that, it might be a little out of camera shot, but I did use a little vinegar and water together. I try to use water as much as I can just in case it does something to the seal. As far as the rubber part is what I'm talking about, not the actual seal of the jar. So I'm wiping my rim really well. That guy wants to be popped up, doesn't it? Stay down there. All right. You know what? Because that one keeps popping up, I feel like, you know what? Just take one out. Be done with it. I'm gonna put it in my other jar that I have waiting here. There. Done. That's it. When in doubt, take it out. All right. That's that. Here are my lids that are washed and just in warm water. I don't have hot boiling water over them. I'm gonna put my lid on. And now my ring. And then you're just, they say fingertip tight, but I like just a little, almost like a, put your ring on. And that's it. It's gonna go in the canner, which is heating on my stove and waiting. So everything is warm. So the jar was hot, the broth is hot, the meat is hot, canner is hot. You always have to do that when you are doing a hot pack method because you do not want to shock the jars and have breaking. All right, so we are gonna do one more together. And then from there, I will show you, once I get it all jarred up, how many I have, and we'll go from there on the next steps. Once you cook the pork, it's amazing how much you don't have, if that makes sense, when it comes to filling jars. I always figure pint is like a pound of meat, quart is like 2 pounds of meat. It's kind of how I figure it out. Just for guesstimate, you know. Again, it's a guesstimate. Try to push some of this down. I am using 1.5 jars, as I mentioned. I think that's perfect amount. It's not too much, and it's not too little for a pint. There's 3 of us, so it depends, you know. A quart is fine. My husband loves leftovers for lunch, so it's never a bad thing, but it is nice sometimes to just have a perfect amount of anything. All right. I don't overpack these, but I know this will fit in here better. I know I'm sticking my fingers in the jar, but hey, guys, we're pressure canning. My hands are clean. All right, so here's our broth. I tasted this. Delightful. So good. Okay. Debubble. Frito stains. I'm trying to be careful so I don't wreck my tea towel, but I mean, it's fine. It's kind of nice, as you could see, how much stuff does get on your rim, even with a funnel. Okay, I'm gonna wipe my rim, get out my lid, and again, whoop, man down, put on my ring. Ready to go into the canner. I'll be back when they're all filled up. All right, here we are. They are all ready to go. So I ended up with a full canner. This is my little guy. This is my 16 quart Presto. Love it. 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 pint and a halves and 3 quarts. So it worked out perfectly. And the pint and a half, because it's above a pint, you process the same time as a quart. So we are going to be processing this 90 minutes. After processing for 90 minutes and letting pressure come back to 0, because it's winter and my house is a little chilly, I do a slight crack and then I do a full lid removal, and I still let them sit a little longer than normal so I don't have a huge temperature change and siphoning. Here they are. They all look gorgeous, and we are on our way to some pretty pork in adobo sauce. Thank you for watching, and if you like what you saw here today, please consider liking and also subscribing to my channel. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time at the Miller Life Kitchen.